Hello all, my name is Abdul Rahman, and in this video we are going to learn about what is data manipulation, and we are going to practice that on a data set. So let's go ahead and get started. So guys, if you remember in the last video we have we have downloaded a data set from the Kaggle, and then we have learned about how to explore that data set, like how to see how many columns are there, how many rows, and how to see that in the graphs, and how many, and etc. Okay, so in this video we are going to use the same data set for learning about data manipulation. So first of all, what is data manipulation? A data manipulation language is a computer programming language which is used for adding, deleting, and modifying data in a database. So it's like adding, deleting, and etc. But modifying, but you could say the CRUD operations type of, like CRUD means create, read, update, and delete. Okay, so as I said, you data manipulation language is a computer programming language and which is used for adding, deleting, and modifying the data in a database. So guys, let's go ahead and do do that actually on our dataset. So I have already installed the dataset. So as I said as in the last video, so I'm going to open the Jupyter notebook first of all. So I'm going to type here in Anaconda Navigator. So I'm going to open the Anaconda. So I don't want this one. So I'm going to open the Anaconda prompt. So I don't want this Anaconda prompt. I want this one, Anaconda prompt. So here if I type something like Jupyter notebook, then I'm going to open the Jupyter notebook on my browser. So it's going to take some time for opening. So it's taking some time. So after opening this, I'm going to type here the Jupyter notebook, and then the Jupyter notebook is going to open there. Okay, so it's now going to, okay, so now Jupyter notebook, if I type here, then it's going to open in the browser. So it's taking some time for opening. Okay, as you can see here, it has been opened in the browser. So okay, it has been opened. So guys, as you can see here, we have the data exploration .ipynb, and so this is the last. So in the last video we have used this data exploration .ipynb. So it's going to open, and this is the one. So as you can see here, the all of those stuff we have done in the last video. So guys, I'm going to remove, and in the we have this downloaded the dataset, and the dataset has only one file, vehicles.csv, but it's around 1.45 GB, somewhere around. So it's a very big file. Okay, so it's still running. Now I want to close this one. So first of all, I want to shut down this. Okay, now I'm going to create a new file. Okay, so the new file name should be around like data manipulation, something like that. So in that also we are going to do the same thing, like we are going to import the pandas, and then we have to we have to do all of those stuff. So first of all, I'm going to create that one. So as new and Python 3 ipython, it's opening here, so it's going to take some time. Now we have the entitle. So instead of this one, I'm going to give data. So first of all, what I have given, so they have given, so I'm going to give data manipulation, manipulation. Okay, so I'm going to give the data manipulation .py, something like that. L Okay, so now manipulation, so I think I have given the spelling wrong. Anyhow, now I'm going to type here, I'm going to import the pandas. So if you have not downloaded the pandas, so please go back and see my last video. So if not, then you can type in your terminal like python pip install pandas. So pandas is a Python library. So I'm going to import that one. So I have already installed that one. So import the pandas, as I want to import this as pd. Now I'm going to run this one. It's going to take some time. So it's okay. So now it has been imported the pandas. So guys, I'm going to read that one. So I'm going to give data should be equals to the pd means pandas dot read. So I'm going to read the CSV file. So I'm going to see CSV, and then in the brackets I'm going to give the vehicles dot CSV. Now if I run this one, you are going to get some type of star here. Then the star means that it's running. So I'm going to click on this run button and it's going to run. So it's showing this star. Then if the running is completed, then it's going to show here something, some number 1 or 2, something like that. Now I'm going to see the columns, all of the columns of this file vehicles.csv. So for doing that one, I have to give something like data, okay, and then I'm going to give columns. Now this one, so columns. So I'm going to run this one. Now it's still running. Data.columns is still running, which means that we are going to get all of the, what we say, data columns. So it's taking some time. Okay, as you can see here, we are getting index. So from the time we're getting some star here in this box, in here also, but it's, we are getting something like this because the star has gone, because it has been completed the rename. Now if you see here data.columns, so we have all of the columns like ID, we have URL, we have region, we have the region URL, we have the price, year, and we have manufacturer. So as you can see here, we have all of these data columns. Okay guys, so one more thing I want to talk about you is, for example, if you are creating a CSV file by you only, then if you open the, if you have created the CSV file, remember, and then you can read the CSV file something like this, like data, then pd.read underscore CSV, then vehicles.csv. So you can run the CSV files something like this. Okay, so you have to give the that file name. Okay, so first of all, we have seen all of the data, we have the columns of our file. Now I want to check the first round, so I'm going to not run this one, so I'm going to run this. Already it has been run. Now 2 3 4, okay, now I'm going to give you something like data, then I'm going to give the, what we say, data should be around equals to data dot head, and I'm going to give you something 100, so which means that I want to see the first 100. So I'm going to run this one and I'm going to delete. Now it's data dot equals to data dot head 100, so nothing is going to happen here, but I am going to give something like data to, what if we give the data to run, nothing has happened. Okay, anyhow guys, now I'm going to give here something like, let's do one thing, let's give data only. Now I'm going to click on this run, and then I'm going to give here something like data. I want to, sorry, so I want to run this one, I want to rename this, so I'm going to give the data dot rename, and I'm going to give in the index something like this one, and it should be equals to around str something. Now I'm going to give it the column should be there light, so I'm going to give column should be equals to this flower braces, and it should be something like city, and here it should give something like this one. So I want to rename it to the new city, something like that. So I'm going to give the new city, something like this one. Now I'm going to, so as you can see here, I have given something like this one, but I'm going to run this first. So as you can see here, I can see all of this table, so I think it has been renamed. Now what if we give here in place should be equals to true here, something like that one. So in place should be around equals to true. Okay, now if I run this program, it's going to take some time. So as you can see, nothing has happened. I think I should give it around 2, or if I give this one 2, then 2, now nothing is going to happen. So anyhow guys, so data dot name we have done this one, but I want to see the just to the city column. So first of all, I'm going to give something this one, and so one more thing I forgot to tell here is we can pass here some lists. Okay, like if we give here the brackets flower braces, you can pass the list, but I don't want to pass that one right now. So here I'm going to pass here this city, city, and I'm going to run this program. It's going to take some time for running this one. So it's going to take some time, that's why it's showing me this star button. So as you can see here, we are getting some error here. So the city, now let's see. Okay, I think the city name is not no more there, so I am going to give us something like new city. If I run this one, as you can see here, we are getting some error. So anyhow guys, I'm going to run this first, and then I'm going to run this. Still we are getting this error. So anyhow guys, let's do one thing. Let's delete this one, delete, sorry, I'm not been deleting this one and this one, all of this one. Now I'm going to do these things. Now we have data dot columns. Now I'm going to give something like data 2 I want to give. Okay, and it should be equals to the data, then I should get head, and I'm going to give here the 100. Okay, so I have done the mistake at the time. Now data do is equals to data dot head, and it's 100. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give data to 2, and I'm going to rename this to what is say brackets now, and I'm going to pass here the index comma, index should be equals to str string, and here the columns mns columns should be equals to the cd. So I want to rename this one, right? So instead of this one, instead of this, so now here I am going to pass here the comma or the semicolon, and in this one I am going to give here new city, new city. Now I'm going to run this one, and I'm going to pass here the in place should be equals to the true. So one more thing I'm doing here, the mistake is comma. Now if I run this one and nothing has happened here, I think it has been already renamed. So now I want to type here data, then I'm going to type here the device city, and if I run this one, are we getting nothing? Still we are getting this error. What if I give here something like new city? What if we give here, no, I should done here some mistake. I should create this one, and now it's going to run, I think. Still we are getting any errors, some errors. Anyhow guys, let's leave this one. So we can check this single column with this, but here right now we are getting this error, but I'm going to delete. And here I'm going to, let's check for the rows, how to see the rows. So I'm going to give the data, and it should be around. So I want to check how many rows are there, like I want to see all of the rows from 0 to 100. Okay, so first 100 rows. So for doing that one, I'm going to give you something like 0 semicolon 100. So here, as you can see here, I have given here 0. So in Python, if you have seen my indexing video, Python 3 basics, then you will be understanding this one. So in the data here, we have the 0 100. So which means that from 0 to 100, these columns I want, these rows I want to see. So 0 will be known as first column, and the 1 will be known as second column, and all of these going to happen. So now if I run this one, as you can see here, I am getting all of these columns. We have the ID, this URL, this region, this, and we are getting all of this one. So now I am going to type here something like URL. So we have given all of the stuff. Now I am going to type not URL. I am going to give here the data, and it should be something. I am going to use here the list. Okay. So I am going to call here the URL, and beside this one, I am going to use here the what is say city, city, and it should be the price. Now I'm going to run this one, but before this one I'm going to make it into the variable. So I'm going to give URL, then I'm going to give city price, and it's around equal to this one. Now I'm going to run this one. So I'm going to click on this one. We are getting city not in index. We are getting something like city not in index, but we are getting error to the city. Okay, but let's remove this one. Now if I run this one, are we getting anything? No. Okay, so now let's give something like comma and new city. Now if I run this one, we are getting still error. Okay, so I think new city or city is not in the index. Anyhow guys, now I'm going to run this one. Now first of all, I'm going to use here the lock, which lock means location, LOC means location. So here I'm going to create the URL and city. It should be something like this one, and it should be price, price, and it should be price to something like this, and it should be equals to data dot. I'm going to use the lock, which means location. So here I'm going to use here the semicolon and comma. This one I'm going to use here the other brackets, and in this one I'm going to use here the URL and URL. And beside this one I'm going to use here the price something like this, something like this one. Now I'm going to run this program, but okay, now I'm going to run, nothing has happened, but now I'm going to use the indexing from 0 to 100. Sorry, I have used this one. Now I'm going to get something. It's taking some time for running, but it's going to run. Now still we are getting some error, so now I'm going to open the WPS office. Sorry, I'm going to WPS, and I'm going to open that vehicles.csv. So I'm going to open this one, vehicles.csv. So it's going to take some time. So it's showing me the, sorry, what happened to it? Okay, it's taking right now. Now anyhow guys, so it's showing me of type int. Let's use here, instead of this one, let's use here the, what we say, the city. Let's use it the comma. I think city is not a column still now. Now let's check in, is there city a column or not. So it's going to open this. Okay, yeah guys. So it's going to take some time. So it's showing me this 35% or 37% around it. Okay, anyhow guys, now till the time it's going to open. Now I'm going to talk about the dropping the columns, how we can drop the columns. So I'm not going to run this program because I have to check whether it's working or not. So it's opening 49% still. So first of all, I'm going to talk about how to drop a column. We can, so if you remember in the SQL playlist, there we have used something like drop table. So here also same thing, but some more different things. So I'm going to use here the data, and wait here, it should be open. Let's wait a second. So it's opening 67%. So here what we have to do is you have to give something like, you can give data dot drop, something like that one, and you can drop any table like URL. Okay, and URL comma, you can give the access 1 equals to 1. So it's going to, I'm not going to run this one. Okay, so I'm going to just here, and let's see, is it still open. So it's showing me the 89%, 91. So it's a pretty much big file for opening. Okay, anyway guys, we have the data.drop URL access. We can drop this one, and let's check whether is it still opening. Okay, so now let's check whether the URL, we have the region URL, but we don't have anything known as city. Cylinders, we have the type, paint, color, image URL. Okay guys, I think we don't have that one. So anyway guys, I'm going to close this one first, and I'm going to close this one right now. Let's open this now. Okay, anyhow guys, we don't have that one, I think. So we can use the lock, and we can use the iLock for this one. So we are getting some errors. So anyhow guys, I'm going to solve this one in the next video. So I'm going to talk about how to drop this table. So I'm going to run this program. So it's going to take, as you can see here, it's going to show me the it's going to drop the columns, some columns. Now instead of this one, I'm going to make it into the variable, and for doing that one I'm going to use something like data, and it should be no URL, and it should be equals to this one, data dot drop, and I'm going to run this one. So first of all, let's click on this one. It's nothing is going to happen, so it has been converted into a variable, that's why it's not. So let's check whether are we having any variable explorer in this one. So I'm going to see here the variable explorer. Let's check are we having any. So if you have any variable explorer, then it's going to be easy for seeing how it's working and all of this stuff. So anyhow guys, let's leave that one. Let's see in the next video. Now I am going to use here the column creation, how we can create the columns. So now I am going to give here data, and it should be age around something like this one, and it should be equals to the 2019 sorry, so it's 2022, right? So now I am going to minus the data. So I want to minus the data here. I want to check the car's age. So first of all, before doing all of this stuff, let's check the car's age. So let's run this one. It's showing me this error again. I think all of this stuff has been changed. So now anyhow guys, that's all for this video. So if you have any questions, please give it in the comments below, and please make sure subscribe to this channel and like this video. And in the next video I'm going to solve these errors, and I'm going to see how it's stable, and I will see you in the next tutorial.